the more you're going to see them. I see
Right.
mice in the corners of my barn partly because I know where they are likely to be. I see deer in certain parts of the field largely because I know their daily rounds and what they are likely to be doing at any given time.
Okay.
All right. What that put me in the mind of, there was this thing that Fat Joe had said. It was a, I can't remember it verbatim, but it was this song he had about him moving up the ladder or doing things, and how he knew that there were some guys that I guess had played him for some money,
Hmm.
and he didn't want to trip off of it because he said, "I bet I'll come back 5 years from now and I'll know where to find you. You'll be at the same place."
Okay.
You know, so
Mm.
don't get into habit. That was something that was dope in that book, and then the rest was seeing more animals, which we'll get into a lot later.
Right.
All right. I don't feel, and then you also got mixed methods, which you
Okay.
just use them both.
Right.
And in that situation, that's when like you're investigating something that's serious.
Hmm.
But for little basic stuff like that, it ain't like if you're a police officer or some
Okay.
stuff like that. I think that's when it's getting real serious because you got to think in everyday life, depending on what you're researching or what the problem is, that's the instrument or tool you're gonna use,
Right.
right? So a research person, that's what you do. You go and you try to you find a problem, then you go and you try to find information and find a solution. But if he's a plumber, you don't give him a pizza cutter,
That's right.
you give him a plunge. And if he's a chef, you don't give him a fire. Well, he may need a fire extinguisher, but so on and so on. You
Yeah.
feel me? So that's the purpose of research. So you know what you need to solve the problem, and you don't waste time. You already know ahead of time.
Exactly.
You create a final research plan and conduct pilot testing if necessary. So,
Right.
all right, you want to know if there are 10 people in this restaurant. You want to know how many of them like the new flavor Skittles. So you go and you get the Skittles. You of course you ask them for permission and be like, "Hey man, y'all want to taste these Skittles?" I guess somehow you got to get every person to taste the same amount of Skittles or the same color to see if they different. I don't know, but some you tally it up and you take a number. That's like testing a pilot. Whoever ate out of whoever didn't eat, then you use the results from what you get from who did eat. So let's say out of the 10 people, 7 of them ate, 4 people liked them, and 3 of them didn't. So most people liked them because 4 out of 3 did. All right. Third step, empirical phase. Collect the data according to the research protocol. Prepare the collected data for analysts. All right. So that's okay. I want to say the best example I could use is when somebody wants somebody for questioning. Like when you see those movies when they be like, "Bring him to me,"
Right.
so I can look at him and figure out what. Okay, think about like those hero movies, Jason Bourne. They're like, who is this guy penetrating our offense? How can he do this? Go send somebody and find him. Where is he coming from? In order to know, you actually have to. We going back to the UFO. In order to know where it's coming from, you got to pretty much capture the performer, the one who's in it. And we had two, but they were dying. They weren't alive. That's why when you see those movies, even though the person is brutal and you're like, kill him, kill him, kill him, the scientist is like, no, you have to keep him alive for the sake of study. Can you imagine that kind of temptation to just want to take the justice in your hand? It's kind of hard being a super. That ain't even being a superhero. It's being a hero. All right. And after they analyze, they go through the dissemination phase where they communicate the appropriate findings. And when they communicate the appropriate findings, you go and find an audience that will listen. So let's say you like to make gossip content, and everybody's been asking, well, who is this rapper that's been messing with so and so, right? Then let's say you get a credible person that can actually you find out who they messing with, right? And this information you know is credible. It's 100% credible. You want to go and find the right podcaster who got the right audience to relay that message to. So you're not gonna go and say, man, I don't want to say nobody's name because I don't want to start no rumor. Let's just say it's some rapper out there who messing with some IG model, and everybody want to know what's the T. What y'all call it, the T?
Yep.
So when they find that out, they be like, all right, I'm gonna go and get this to whatever podcaster out there like talking about relationships. Cause I don't want to put no names out there and make nobody feel salty. You're not gonna go and get that information to Joe Rogan, who do a lot of MMA type stuff, because ain't no that audience ain't gonna care nothing about that. Why do they care about who dating who? You know what I'm saying? And it did say through public, you bring out your information through presentation and our publications, and this is a form of publication. It is a presentation. Podcasts have a message, and with that, you send a message out there, and that's our basic research. 5 basic steps of research, baby. Formidable Dreadlock Spidey podcast. How's about that, Miss? I forgot my statistics teacher name.
Okay.
Shouts out to Dean. Shouts out to my Dean from Uncle Sharon. Shouts out. Anyway, I got another book too, which we gonna get into here. One of these. It's called. The thing is I'm gonna be bad pronouncing this. Hakaru, the book of the samurai. Let's see. I'm just gonna open this up and see what we can find. The book of the samurai. From the first chapter. The way of the samurai is found in death. When it comes to either or, there is only the quick choice of death. It is not particularly difficult. Be determined and advance. To say that dying without reaching one's aim is to die a dog's death is the frivolous way of sophisticates. When pressed with the choice of life or death, it is necessary to gain one's aim. Ooh. It's do or die, baby. It's do or die, baby. He's saying go for it, go for it. All right, so today was just opening the door to let you know how it's gonna go down for like November. Uh, I'm not even gonna tell you what we're gonna get into, but this month was purely, with all honesty, dedicated to homeboy to the right, Mr. Kane wanted to see here talk about UFOs. It's not over. I just took a little bit of break from it. So next Tuesday, we got a guest coming. It's a guest. His information. He's chosen to call it Operation Sphinx Like, and I, I, he said that his name is Mason. I didn't quite get his last name, but his first name is Mason.
Mm.
Pretty cool guy. He seemed pretty nice. Really, really, really. So he'll be here next Tuesday, and he's going to give a testimony about his encounter and experiences with he's from an organization called the OIA, and they are from the Her Seasons universe. It's in the Her Season universe. So he'll be here to give us a testimony about his information of flying objects and all UFOs and extraterrestrial experience. All right. The formidable Dreadlock Spidey. All right, y'all. It was a blast. I had fun. Be here to tune in next Tuesday because we're gonna have that guest here talking about his experience with the UFOs and his testimony, and we're gonna have a little bit more for you. You know how it go. Get caught in the web. What's going on? What's good with you?